Shine Inside and Out is an interview series where I chat with some of the brightest people I know who are unapologetically shining their light and empowering others to do the same. From fellow beauty professionals who are experts in the art of beauty and creativity to inner beauty experts who are passionate about authenticity, creativity, health, thriving relationships, finances, and people who are spiritually connected to their truth and living as their highest self. Hello and welcome. This is AnDréa Pettingill and welcome to Shine Inside and Out. I'm so excited for today's interview. I am talking to Rebekah. How do you say your last name?
It's Jessop.
Rebekah Jessop, who I love and adore. I first met Rebekah at the Limitless 3-day experience in Utah, in Provo, Utah, right? I remember her standing up and sharing her story, and I instantly was like, I need to talk to that woman. Like, oh, it touched my heart so deeply, and I'm excited. She's going to share her story with us in a minute, and like my heart just went out to her. Do you remember, like, I came up to you in the hall and I was like, Rebekah, like, let's connect.
I did. I was so excited because your idea to me, as for everything I've been through, was so amazing. I'm like, finally.
I know, it's so perfect and beautiful. So let's jump into it. Rebekah, tell us who you are and tell us just a little bit about you and, a little bit about yourself first.
Okay. So as she said, my name's Rebekah Jessop. I am 37 years old and the mother of 4 beautiful, amazing children. And I'm a firefighter, EMT as well, kind of on the side. I do many other jobs. I teach EMS and EMT, first aid, things like that as well. But I think foremost, like, I'm a woman and I'm a mom, and I have a lot of issues that we all go through as women and as mothers. I'm really excited about what you're doing because I really feel like it has been such a problem, especially in my life, to have that setup of what I was supposed to look for or look like, what I'm supposed to do, and all that kind of stuff too.
All of the, like, it has to look this certain way. That's what I'm all about, like women embracing their true self and letting that shine and just loving every part of them and their journey and their experience, right?
Yeah, because it's our journey that brings us here, that really puts us where we're at in this life. And so for so long in my life, I thought, well, this isn't fair. This isn't what my journey is supposed to be. This isn't the way things are supposed to work out. And so it's taken me a long time to really learn to love my journey and love where it's brought me.
And don't you feel like as we attach a negative belief to this is not the way it's supposed to be, that focus on that it's not supposed to be that way just creates more of that hard and ick energy. Whereas it's like, what if this is perfect? Like, that is really light and expansive. It's like, what if I gotta stop attaching to life is supposed to be this beautiful string of events. No. Let's decide this beautiful mess is the way it's supposed to be for my highest growth and my highest good.
Exactly. God is constantly working towards our good. It's whether or not, I feel like anyway, it's whether or not we're going to jump on board and work with him, or if we're just going to fight him.
No, exactly. How could you fight against that?
Yeah. I remember the first time anybody told me that I couldn't do anything was as I have red hair, you can see this is dyed, though, keep in mind. I'm very gray at this point, but it's a close color to what I was naturally. But I remember when I was just in grade school, my favorite color has always been and will always be pink. And I had a teacher say to me, oh my gosh, redheads cannot wear pink. Mm-hmm. You cannot wear pink. And I remember thinking as a child, that's devastating because that's my favorite color. And because of this hair that everybody loves and that has, created me, I couldn't wear pink. And so I did not actually wear pink until I was an adult and finally went, yeah, I can wear pink. It doesn't matter if I have red hair.
Totally. Oh my gosh. So Rebekah, share with us your story and where you've come from in your journey. I'd love to just get into that.
Okay. So I've been through, I had a really rough year a couple years ago. I lost my dad. My ex was trying to take my 8-year-old son away from me, he is really the smile on my face every day. He's so amazing. And then right about that same time, I found out that my husband was cheating on me and had been for over a year. And I was pregnant with my 4th child and was just devastated as to everything that was happening. And then later in that same year, my very best friend, who has been a co-firefighter with me for years, killed himself. And it really all just came down to this, what is wrong with me? Like, why did my husband want to leave me? Why did my best friend kill himself to leave me? Why, all these different problems. And among all of that, my hair started falling out. And it felt like all the way up until that point, as long as I had this hair, this red long hair that everybody talked about was so beautiful, then I was okay because I had this hair and I had hair that people wanted and this color that I was supposed to have, this really crazy, like anger management problem that comes with the red hair, and all the, like, I take people's souls, all these things that came with red hair. So I really felt like as long as I had my hair, I could keep myself. And it started falling out. And I really felt like I was losing my whole identity. I could lose my husband. I could lose my best friend. But if I was to lose the one thing that I truly thought made me, was devastating to me. And the more concerned about it I got, the more it started to fall out. I started seeing a doctor and trying to find out what was wrong. I looked everywhere for this picture. I actually took a picture of what my hair looked like, and this entire portion of the back of my head was to the skin. Mm-hmm. And I could no longer even just put a hat on because the hat would show where my hair had been falling out. I could no longer do any kind of bangs because it was so thin up here that it was just scalp. Yeah. And so as I was seeing these doctors, they just couldn't figure out, all of my thyroid, everything was fine. My iron was still good. Everything was still doing really okay, but nobody could figure out what was going on. And then finally they started running more and more tests, and found out that my body was not producing red blood cells. And not only not producing them, but the medicine they had me on, it wasn't sustaining its own red blood cells. So it was like just kicking all the red blood cells out. And this is very rare. Nobody could figure out what was going on. And it was frightening to me because I was like, well, do I have AIDS? I was like, really? I'm like, doesn't this only happen? Yeah. And they couldn't figure it out. And my sister invited me to this Limitless Seminar in January. And also through this, my mother had bought me some wigs, which was so amazing because I really felt like, oh, I can have hair again, but nothing like this color and nothing like what this color meant to me. You can't find this in a wig or a box or anything else. So, but at least I had hair, so I was still a girl, kind of. So she invited me to this Limitless, and I was really nervous about going because I don't like to go in public with my hair the way it is. And but I said, you know what, it's a time to spend with my sister and my mom, so I'm totally doing it. It's okay. Wore my wigs, everything was fine. And so halfway through the seminar, it dawned on me, as all of these things that I was learning and these doctors couldn't figure out. I mean, and I was to the point where they were saying I was going to do a shot one week, a blood transfusion the next week, a shot the next week, and then another blood transfusion. And this was going to be my life. Oh, and I thought, well, that's gross. First of all, I thought it was just really gross. I didn't want somebody else's blood keeping me alive. What's wrong with my own? So I really started this adventure through that Limitless, and I put everything I had into this Limitless. I thought, this is it. I'm just dump. Here it is. And Chris Crone allowed me to help dump that too on stage when I got to walk across the glass. But it was really the next morning that I was getting ready for that Limitless and was combing through my hair and getting ready to put my wig on, that I thought, why have I been allowing this to define me? Yeah. Of everything that I've ever been through in my life, why this? This is the most silly, most tedious thing I can imagine. And so I started diving into it, and it really stems from, this is what I thought was beauty. I thought hair was pretty. I thought body pretty. And since I didn't have the body anymore, I'd gained 65 pounds, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is all I have. And letting go of that and really grasping onto who I am deep inside blown my world, like in the best way possible.
Yeah. And you get to love all of who you are, like the inside of you, and everything else can fall away, and you're still you. Like,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
not my hair.
you're not.
I'm not
You're
this.
not my hair. I am not my body. I am so much more than that. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And realizing that if my hair were to fall off, I still have eyes, ears, mouth, nose, this whole body doing all these activities, and this beautiful spirit inside of me that's still going. And what on earth would make me think that any of this was just going to cease when I had no hair?
right. Yeah.
But it really was this complete belief that I was never going to be pretty again. I had accepted that I was going to get this divorce through, and then I was never going to have another partner because I was never going to be pretty again. That was it.
Mm. Wow.
And we allow ourselves to think
So
that way.
yeah. Yeah. So was there a time like that was like this pivotal point for you? Like it was at Limitless when you kind of like shifted into a new perception. Is that right?
Yeah, Limitless really helped shift me into that new perception. However, it took a lot of deep inner getting through that. It might have shifted it, but it was a lot of work after that to get to the point to where I no longer focused on my hair. I threw a hat on. I wore my hair in a ponytail. I went to the grocery store without my makeup and hair done. You know, I just did all these other things that was really kind of stepping me out of my box.
Yeah.
And realizing that. And I would challenge myself. I'd wake up in the morning and say, what can you do today that's going to step you out of that box and make you feel pretty for who you are? And a lot of it was text messages or phone calls where people couldn't see me at first.
Yeah.
And that was a really good pick me up. And then I just started to take it further. Okay, well, now let people see me for what I look like. And not one single person walked up to me and said, hey, your hair's falling out and you look ridiculous.
I know, like our fears like blow it up to be this huge thing that it really isn't going to be. And like, I mean, your hair looks so gorgeous, by the way, today. Like yeah.
That's my exciting part of this whole story, honestly. So I took that whole mentality of that's okay, my hair is going to fall out. This is what's going on. We don't know what the cause is. But at the same time, at that Limitless, I thought, well, if doctors can't physically find out why my body is not producing these red blood cells, then maybe it's my mind. Maybe there's something in my mind that I'm creating this illness. And I believe 100% that a lot of times we create our own illnesses through our mind. We have that ability. And so I thought, well, what if that's the case? And I really I stopped focusing on the loss of my hair and started focusing on what I could do with the hair I had left. And different hairstyles and different ways to make myself feel good all over instead of just my hair. And I still continually went in to get the test done, and here it is. It's been like three or 4 months, and my hair is not only growing back, but it's coming back thick, and it's coming in all these places. I mean, it's still a little bit thin up here. You can definitely tell, but it's nothing. I wish I could find that picture. I'll have to find it and just show you the difference that it's made in only in a couple of months. And I 100% did that myself. I didn't change my medication. I didn't change what I was doing. I simply believed that no matter what was happening in my life, I am still beautiful and I am still a woman. And I say that a woman a lot because in my field of what I do, it's very much not a woman. It's kind of a man's game.
It's almost like because I've had lots of friends who have been in different jobs like that where it's very masculine, and it's almost like you get to prove every day I am a girl.
Yeah, it is. And I always had fingernails. I don't have fingernails now, but I've always had fingernails too, just for that reason, because I felt like, oh, I need to look like a girl. And even if they can only see my hands or just a little bit of makeup on my face, then I'm still a woman. And so it really is like trying to prove to these men every day that we're still women and feminine. And you know, when I started showing up with less hair and less makeup, none of them looked at me any different. None of them treated me any different. And all of this just really stacked on, saying, see, Rebekah, this is all in your mind.
Yes, so true.
And it's my entire perception of everything has changed. And I feel so much better. My new goal right now is to love who I am, the weight that I am, because I know that I'm over the weight that I'm comfortable in. I don't want to say that I'm fat, because I'm definitely not fat, and I can still hold my own, but I know that I'm not healthy. And I think that's another big, you know, misconception between us women is, are we trying to be skinny and perfect, or are we trying to be healthy to what our body needs us to be?
Yeah. And like, there's not, like, loving every part of you where you are at is what's going to help you to get where you want to be. It's
right.
Being present. Yeah,
exactly. Like with my hair, just loving, you know, the phase that it was in, and the lesson, you know, again, this beautiful lesson that has taught me that I have way more power in my mental and higher self than I ever imagined. I can make my hair grow.
That is such a cool thing to, like, discover and learn, because then it's like, it kind of blows your mind, and it's a little bit like, it can be kind of scary maybe. I don't know if you think the same way, but like, it's like, if I can do this, what else can I do? Like, right?
It is so true. I do really feel like, you know, you look at the world around you, instead of looking at all these obstacles that the world around me has put in my way, which I do. I'm like, why road construction today? You know, and then it's really just something that you just soak in that all of these obstacles are not in your way. They're simply helping you get to where you need to be at the time you need to be there.
Yeah.
And if we just looking at the whole world as part of our creation, of our daily creation, has really made such a change in my life.
I like the saying, like, the world is, or this isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. Like, when you shift that, just that little bit, it like goes, right. Oh, okay, it's happening for me, you know, because so that you can be a strength and show up for women, like, and, you know, like, really help them to feel that they can get through something similar. Like, and that leads me into my next question is, in the heaviest, like, most difficult part of your experience, like, if someone was in that right now, what would you tell them? Like,
I honestly, no matter what religion you are, I think the first thing that it takes in every single person is to realize that there is a higher power, and there's a higher self. And whether you believe that higher power is God or something else in the universe, but you're here for a reason. This wasn't somebody's Monopoly game that they just chucked you into it. And to really sit down and think about what that reason is, and then ask for help. Because I think that my biggest problem is I'm such a proud person, and I'm strong. I can do anything. I can walk in fires, and I can help people. I can see really gross things and be okay with it. So when I needed help, I didn't ask for help. And that, I really think that to come to that point to where asking for help is not the worst thing in the world.
wow.
And there's a lot of people out here that want to see that personal inner higher self, and will help you pull that out, because it's in there in every person.
I love that. And I think that's why we can see the struggle as the gift, because it's there to show you that for some reason you have separated yourself from source. You know, like you said, whether that's God for you, whether that's your Heavenly Father, or whether that's the earth or the universe, there's a separation happening that isn't serving you in your life right now. And so this, like, alarm is going off, whether it's, you know, your health being affected, your relationships, and so we get to listen to that and tap in and ask, you know, whoa, like, let me step back. What's really going on? How can I reconnect? Like, how can I, like, for some people that might be really foreign, like, have a relationship with a higher self, like your higher self, or a source bigger than you. But that's really good advice to, like, step into and just explore, like, just open your heart and your mind and just ask and get quiet and ask, like, what could that look like for me? That's important.
Right. Yeah, we've all had situations where we've done something that we never thought we could do. Even if it's just a simple little thing that we just, oh, I had no idea I could lift that up, or I had no idea I could do that. Well, and that's that inner, like a chain from inside of us that is like, hey, you really can do it. You just got to let me out to do it.
Yeah, that's so cool. I had some more questions for you. I'm just looking them up right now. So I want to talk about what you do on a daily basis to help you stay in that new positive mindset. And I know there's some things that we've both learned at Limitless that have helped us a lot. And I want to know like what works for you, because it's very unique to our individual situations. And we do have hard days, like I agree. But what works for you, and what do you try to do on a regular basis?
So I think one of the first things that I did was I recorded my own personal affirmations, which was very awkward at the time and kind of awkward to listen to at first. But what I do first thing in the morning is I wake up, I start my coffee going, and then I go back and I sit back down and I listen to my morning. I have like morning, afternoon. I listen to my morning affirmation. And I just like this quick 7-minute meditation that I roll through. And then I continue getting ready through the day. As I'm doing my makeup, this is always in my makeup drawer. It's my Limitless band, and I always put that on again and turn it to black until I've really worked through a limiting belief. And a lot of times my mornings are so busy, it just doesn't hit me then, and I just wait till it does. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing I do after I get like everything in the mad rush of everything going in the morning, get my kids off to school, everybody dropped off. When I get to my work, I pull in the parking lot and I sit for another 5-minute meditation. Sometimes I'll listen to my affirmations, and sometimes I will just simply get present because I'm getting ready to work. So I present myself to what I'm about to do that day. And then like throughout the day, if I'm having extreme struggles or things are really bothering me, I will take another sometimes 2 minutes. I just go back, sit in my car, re-ground myself, pull it back out, talk positive to myself, and then go back in and start again. Really feeling like it's just this constant start over, and that's okay because I get that. I get to have as many start overs as I want until I'm dead.
I love that. So
I can start over.
Like sometimes we get really hard on ourselves and not forgiving ourselves when we get stuck or whatever, and then it just like creates more difficult situations in your day. And
it does.
Yeah. I love that you ground yourself in your car. You create a safe space for that, because like especially in the world and the busyness of it right now and the way things like kind of move like super fast and our phones and our everything, like it's a dying art to sit and to be still. You know, this really like it's something that not a lot of people remember to check in and do, and that's such a beautiful practice for you to do. Like,
yeah, I love it.
And recognizing that, oh, I need this now. Like, it's not just like, oh, that's just a morning thing that I do. No, it's like when you need it, you got to check in and get grounded.
Yeah, it has really helped me cope with a lot of the stress that I deal with. I was really on the verge of quitting firefighting and EMS because I felt like all the death was just really starting to weigh heavy on me. I just felt like, oh, maybe I'm not that good anymore, and I didn't save this person, or I couldn't save this person. It was really starting to be heavy on me. So being able to ground myself and find myself where I'm at internally and deal with it per moment as I need to has made a huge difference for me. And my kids, it's so funny because my kids too, I'll be like, you guys, I need 5 minutes. Yeah. And I will go in my closet and close the door and nobody bothers me.
Yeah.
And I've even had my daughter say to me sometimes, like when I'm really just having a rough time and I'm like, could everybody just clean up? You know, she'll be like, Mom, do you need the closet for 5 minutes?
I love that. That's so sweet.
They realize, they see that too. I love that it's teaching them that you get to have that time for yourself. You get to regroup. And then the start over for me is huge. I feel like a never ending of start overs. And not that I want to start over because I fail every time, but I get to start over because it may not be exactly what I wanted it to be, but I need to realize that that's not always God's plan. And so it's not a fail. I just need to regroup as to where I'm at now.
Yeah. And just point back, just adjust a little bit and point back to where you want to be going.
Exactly. and take the situation that has just happened and use it to where I'm going. So,
Yeah.
okay, well, I couldn't go left, but I have this drive here. So what can I get accomplished on this particular drive going this route?
Cool. I love it. Awesome. I know that you have to go really soon, so I have one more question. What would you, just coming from your story of beauty being something that was such a big part of holding you back, as well as such a big part of like your growth, like because that story got to happen for you, like what would you like to share with women who are going through different things and having different limiting beliefs that are just holding them back surrounding, you know, their image, their beauty, their, you know, what's on the outside kind of a thing? And so what advice would you give, or what final, like imparting, like what final thing would you like to tell women out there?
Well, you know, I really think, and this is kind of hard, but when you look at somebody who is overweight, your skeletal system is the same. Your skeletal system does not gain weight when you gain weight. So in my opinion, no matter what is going on the outside of your body, your insides are staying the same. That's your skeletal system, your organs, everything else is staying the same. Well, that inner spiritual and that inner higher self is in the same position. She's tucked in there, and she's more perfect than we could have ever imagined. And all we need to do is realize that that's there, and really focus that we might look this way on the outside, and we might have scars on the outside, but God did not create hideous creatures ever. We are all so amazing and so beautiful in different ways. And who's to say that my beauty is any different than anyone else's beauty, inside or out? And I think just to come into your own and accept that you are truly beautiful just where you are, but just know also that there's something even higher inside just waiting to come out.
Awesome. That's so perfect. Thank you so much. I'm gonna wrap it up, and I just am so grateful that you were able to share your message with us today. Thank you
so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for listening and having me, because I love it. I love what you're doing. I'm super excited about it.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh, I hope to have you on again. That would be so wonderful.
I would love it, with long, thick, bushy hair even,
you know. Progress, yeah. You'll have to find that picture for me. I'll post it if you find it. I'll put it in the video.
I will, yeah. I'll keep looking for it.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys, that is a wrap for today's interview. I hope that I get to have you back for the next episode of Shine Inside and Out. And again, my name is AnDréa Pettingill, and I just want to remind you to shine your brightest today.